All right, so then they went to the Smackdown Elimination Chamber match. Daniel Bryan, Big Show, Wade Barrett before he was injured, Cody Rhodes, Santino, Marella, aka Rocky, and the Great Khali, who showed up for about a minute and a half, and that was it. Uh, Started off with Barrett and Big Show. First person out of the pods was Cody Rhodes, and the match to me, right from then on, was just boring. And a little bit after Santino came out next, there was a boring chant going on in the crowd. And then, of course, they did something which I thought was funny in how stupid and pointless it was. Khali comes out of the chamber. He basically like chops and Punjabi plunges everybody, and then Big Show hits a spear on him and eliminates him.
Thank God.
And it was like, was that maybe the fastest somebody was eliminated from the elimination chamber? I think.
Yep, that was actually faster than R-Truth was eliminated.
Right, and I don't know why they didn't just add Justin Gabriel in this, or Unico, or Ted DiBiase,
They
or
wanted someone they could say was a legitimate threat, even though he wasn't.
to me, I would have just kept the other ones in there because nobody thought fucking Khali was gonna win. And if you want to think that we're smart enough that we'll buy kayfabe T-shirts and that you can have John Cena come out and cut like shoot promos and all this kind of stuff, then don't insult our intelligence. Khali's not going to win. We would know that Justin Gabriel wouldn't win either, but at least he would be entertaining in the process, you know.
Well, their whole
Unless they
process
kind of
is
threw
Khali's
him
the
in there and then
future
he
world
got
champion.
eliminated right away.
That's
But
probably
yeah,
what they're making out.
oh,
That he's the
I was
former
kind of
world
glad to
champion.
see him get eliminated right off the bat. I mean, there's only so much Khali that one sane wrestling fan can take.
So then after that, we had Big Show climbing over the pod and beating Daniel Bryan down inside of it. And then when Daniel Bryan's pod gets released, he escapes temporarily, and it basically becomes like the way that we thought it was going to, where uh Bryan doesn't really get that much offense and everything like that. But then what I thought was kind of interesting, uh Cody and Barrett were teaming up quite a bit, and then Cody Rhodes gets uh to be the one who eliminates Big Show, and I completely didn't see that coming. I thought there, if anybody was going to eliminate him, it would just be maybe Wade Barrett because he's the bigger of the two, or maybe Great Khali would do something to Big Show and Daniel Bryan would just pin him real quick or something like that. Totally didn't see Cody Rhodes being the one to do it.
No, and as it seems, that seems to be the catalyst of some sort of feud going on between those two at the moment.
Some kind of
Mm.
replacement feud instead of Shaquille O'Neal versus Big Show.
Yeah.
Which for the record, I don't want to see Cody Rhodes against Big Show. I don't think that they're going to mesh well together. I'm hoping that
Oh,
that's more so a bathroom break match if they have a singles match at WrestleMania.
although it could be good for the Intercontinental title and Cody, for actually getting on the card for once and
Mm-hmm.
him retaining, back-to-back victories, Mysterio and Big Show. It's kind of a big deal.
I would have rather seen Goldust versus Cody Rhodes, but doesn't seem like WWE's interested.
Yeah, and both of the two feuds that many people thought were going to happen, it's like,
Yeah,
well, looks like they're not happening now.
so let's just throw them together instead.
Yeah.
Santino rolls up Cody Rhodes and eliminates him, gets a huge pop. Effectively killed when Cody hits Crossroads on Santino. And here's the part that I thought was another part that I thought was interesting. Barrett goes for a cover, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, well, he can't pin him now because it's not going to be Wade Barrett against Daniel Bryan, but uh, Santino kicks out, and then I expected maybe he would roll Wade Barrett up again real quick or something like that, but it kind of lasted a while between the three of them until uh, Daniel Bryan hits a headbutt on Wade Barrett, and Santino pins him, gets the win. People go ape shit. Uh, Santino keeps up the whole Rocky thing. Bryan eventually gets ahead of him. Bryan makes Santino tap out with the label lock, and Daniel Bryan wins the match. Uh, Match quality, I didn't like it as much as the Raw one. I thought it was boring for the most part. The only parts I really enjoyed were the parts with Santino. Uh, I've said before, and I'll say it again, I am not the biggest Daniel Bryan fan, and I wasn't a
Boo.
big fan of him going into WrestleMania as a champion. I knew he was going to after he retained at the Royal Rumble, but uh, so that wasn't really a surprise for me, and I'm not looking forward to Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan. What do you guys think?
The Raw match was definitely better. I thought, it was good for what it was, but I definitely preferred the Raw match. The Raw match was, there was a lot more cooler. It was more fast. There's a lot of better spots. This just, you start off with Barrett and Big Show, which, those are two slow, plodding kind of guys. And then Rhodes kind of gets in there and he seems kind of out of place. Then, they throw Khali in there. Yeah, the people in the chamber going in, you knew it wasn't going to be all that fast or exciting. I thought it got really good once Bryan got in there. He did the spot through the pod when Big Show tossed him in there. It was good. Not nowhere near as good as the Raw Chamber, but yeah, with the people involved, it was actually better than I was expecting it to be.
Again, it's more so to do with who's going against whom, really. The Big Show had to basically start this thing because, again, he had the most to gain out of it. He was going after Bryan. So the only logical sense was to have Big Show plow through everyone before he got to Bryan. I love the fact that he was pulling the chain links off the pod and went in there and started beating the shit out of him. For me, that was the highlight of that match.
For sure.
Definitely.
And he tossed him
And
through it shortly
yeah,
after that as well.
and it was brilliant. And this is how Bryan's booking has been so good. They have literally, by turning him heel, they've made him the reverse of what he was. He was a technical expert. What do they do now? He's heel. He doesn't do that much technical wrestling. You know, he doesn't wrestle at all that much, apart from getting a few cheap shots here and there and a few spots and getting them in the label lock. Before he didn't cut many promos. Now he cuts a ton of promos.
Horribly.
Before he was like this boy next door. Now he's an arrogant little fuck. It works. And the fact is, I can bet that every one of you guys wanted to see that belt come off Bryan that night, even
I
if it was
didn't.
Santino winning.
I did, but not in the sense that they want me to. I didn't want him to lose as in I don't like Daniel Bryan. I wanted him to lose as in I don't like Bryan Danielson.
Fair enough.
So I
Uh,
wanted to see. I rather would have seen Wade Barrett versus Sheamus, or Cody
I
Rhodes versus Sheamus, or
Again, I
anybody
think it's
else.
a logical choice. I think the belt staying on Bryan is logical because with everyone else getting injured as well, there's not really anyone that that belt needs should be going to, and there will probably be a title change at Mania.
Oh,
You
I'm
know,
expecting.
Sheamus,
not to, yeah, Sheamus is going to be the guy who finally shuts him up and beats
yeah,
the shit out of him, pretty
Yeah,
yeah,
much, and
I'm
takes the
it's a
actually.
belt off
lock.
him.
I'm actually not even expecting it to be a full long match. I'm expecting it to be maybe like a 5 minute squash and that's it.
I'm hoping not. I'm
I'm
hoping it
hoping
is.
not because that pissed me off.
Yeah, it would piss me off as well.
That's
If
And
it
it. It's
every
happens,
just,
I told
I
you so.
mean, first they're gonna make it a curtain jerker, and now they're gonna, now the world title match is a 5 minute squash. It's continually spitting and pissing on the belt.
Yeah, exactly. And also, they're pissing on everything that they've done to make Bryan a successful heel. They need to make sure they keep his integrity intact because he's the main event heel of the brand at this point in time.
So I'm thinking it's going to be something along the lines of Ultimate Warrior and Honky Tonk Man without the streak that
I'm
Honky Tonk
hoping
Man had.
not. I'm hoping not. I'm hoping you know, it, he goes in as the underdog, but he makes a believer out of Sheamus before the pay-per-view
At the
because
most,
now they need to make it look like Sheamus may not have a chance at getting that belt.
at the
If
most,
They,
that's telling a successful story, I mean, you
yeah,
got to suspend disbelief somehow,
unless it's
yeah.
the Jericho match.
you know?
I'm
No,
thinking at the
it's so
most though
true.
they're going to have the time limit that Rey Mysterio and Cody Rhodes did, which was quite short.
Yeah, 11 minutes I thought was pretty good for those two, considering they were the second match on the card. I thought they had a pretty good amount of time.
But also,
That'd be fine for me too. To go.
Ray and Cody got the match over. They told the story that they needed to tell in those short minutes.
Hmm. Well, it still could be a good match. I'm not going to rule that out. And if it's a good
I
match,
believe.
I'll admit that it's a good match. But
I'm
I'm
going to say
just
it right
a biggest
now
fan.
that that's going to be the show stealer of the night. My opinion.
Well, it's also poetic justice since their asses got kicked off the card last year due to The
Yeah.
Rock's never-ending opening promo that
Oh
ate
God,
like the first 20 minutes of WrestleMania 27. They get kicked off the card for that.
that was the
That was
fucking Hall of
stupid.
Fame all over again. You know
You
when Ric
know,
Flair got inducted and they basically cut him off halfway through his fucking speech so that The Rock could say loads of fucking puns
you
and
know.
get
So
himself over.
that was that. So I think it's that now 1 year later they're actually going to be on the card, and they're involved in the World Heavyweight Championship match, SmackDown's World Title match.
Which is one of the main events.
Technically, yeah, but it could be like fourth match of the show, but it's still they're actually going to be getting on the card and they're competing for the second biggest belt in the WWE. That's got to feel pretty good after being
Yeah,
kicked off the card the year before. So
Well,
and
that
also
led
the fact
us.
that they didn't curtain jerk on the Elimination Chamber like Punk and that lot did.
yeah,
Right.
So that gives it some integrity at least.
Well, that led us to something that has no fucking integrity, and that is a Hornswoggle segment, which also
Ugh.
combines the Natalia farting shit.
oh
Uh,
my god.
yeah. So with that, I don't even know exactly what I can fucking talk about.
I do.
Hornswoggle is wearing a cheese hat. He looks at cheese. He asks Natalia to cut the cheese. She farts and runs away for no fucking reason. Jack Swagger comes up and like hits Hornswoggle on the head or something. Gabriel shows up and it's like, hey, fucking Khali took my spot in the elimination chamber. I got nothing to do. Want to fight? And then Teddy Long's like, yeah, sure. What the fuck? We need to waste some time. So they have a United States Championship match thrown together at the last minute, which the match itself I think wasn't too bad, wasn't too great. It just kind of was what it was. It was filler and it was clearly a bathroom break match. Uh, the way that I worded it on my review is I would have liked it better if they would have cared enough to make this match ahead of time instead of something that they clearly at the last minute decided to put on the card.
Needed build.
At least
Simple fact.
some build.
I
Yeah.
hate all impromptu pay-per-view matches where you just figure out about them while you're watching the show.
Mm-hmm.
It's common courtesy to advertise, 24 hours or more in advance to what you're actually going to have on your pay-per-view. Announce them on your fucking site before you do them.
Mm-hmm.
You
You'd
know,
think they learnt their lesson from December to Dismember
yeah. Well,
because
let's not go there.
that pay per view was literally every fucking match was like that, and it buried the pay per view. You know, and this is what gets on my fucking tits as well about the WWE. Those fart jokes is literally them trying to impress Vince. You know, Vince is sitting there having a belly laugh, watching Natalia fart herself, right?
Right. Oh, without
I'm
a doubt.
expecting them to end that fucking segment with her sharting or something because you are fucking taking a credible wrestler and a rather hot diva. Oh, I'll bang Natalia. Now, you literally take her and you're destroying any credibility. It's not getting her over. You're making her a fucking joke.
No,
You
it's
know,
pissing people off. She keeps
it is.
continually getting people saying, "Wow, you deserve better than this" and
She
everything.
does deserve better. You know what? If she left the WWE, I wouldn't fucking blame her. I wouldn't blame her at
Well, she
all.
keeps
This is
trying to defend the storyline. That's what's fucked up in my
That's
mind.
ridiculous. This is like Chavo Hornswoggle level bad
Hmm.
almost
Yeah,
in terms of it may not go as long, but it's a stupid waste of time.
And it's
And
involving Hornswoggle now, apparently.
oh yeah, and it's like slowly, well maybe even quickly burying her completely. She
it's
spent the whole
literally
summer teaming with Beth Phoenix and trying to do this whole, I forget what they called it,
Divas of
pin up
Doom.
Divas of Doom.
strong Divas
Yeah,
of Doom, whatever thing they had going on now, and now she's farting and getting embarrassed every week and running away, you know,
Comically.
I know what they're
comically like,
trying to do.
"Woo!"
They're trying to turn a face,
It's a
but there are
really
better
horrible way to
ways
do it.
to turn someone face. Exactly. You just hit the nail on the head. There are better ways to do it. And they're doing this because Vince is getting a belly laugh out of it.
Yeah,
No
well,
one in the audience is laughing at it.
you know, like
No
any
one at home's
successful
laughing
face
at it.
turn, yeah, it was because they farted for a few weeks and were embarrassed and overcame
Well, you
their
don't.
farting insecurities. Ooh, that's a real good way to build a new face up. Yeah.
Well,
Exactly.
remember back in
Like you said.
1995 when Shawn Michaels was a heel, how they got him over was a fart gimmick. Back when Stone Cold Steve Austin, Austin 316 farted right after that.
Yeah.
You
No,
gotta
what
you gotta
makes
look
me
at
laugh
revisionist
though,
history here.
it's like the writers can't cater. They don't have their own original thoughts. Vince says, "Oh, this would be great. Why don't we go and make her shit herself?" Yeah, Vince, that'd be a great idea. No, this is why your company is 8 million in the fucking hole because you don't fucking listen.
Well,
You sit
maybe
there and take the piss out of your fucking competition because they don't know how to get their product over, and you're doing the exact same stupid thing.
maybe
What
she's gonna
the
be
fuck?
constipated, and we'll find out the reason is that there's a fucking hand up her ass, and they
Oh,
can finish the other storyline. It'll be the left hand or something.
yeah, put it all together, and then it ends up making Sick Boy from WCW.
Oh man.
So the next part, we'll talk about the ambulance match, the main event of the night, and all the shit that was wrong with that. So check that out in the next part.